Hey everyone, as many of you know from my videos and my Twitch stream, I'm a main Templar PvP healer. In the Murkmire patch and heading into Wrathstone, this is the build I'll be using. If you like to frontline heal, be able to take a hit, buff your team, and feel like a hero, this is the build for you to build off of. I'll never claim to be the best at the game, and as always, a character build is unique to you. What I'm about to show you works for me and my playstyle. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you were able to get something out of it. This is the Archangel. Alright guys, so I wanted to go over my build for this character, Templar Healer, and the purpose of this build is to be a frontline healer. This is a build that is going to be tanky, it's going to be sustainable, and it's going to be able to get your allies out of trouble more often than not, while also buffing them. So I'm going to show you two builds. They're both essentially the same except for one gear change out, and that's going to be dependent upon large group and small group. I find that in small group you get focused more, so you need a little bit of a tankier setup than if you're running something large group, being 6+ people. So let's go ahead and get into it. What we're going to do is I'm going to go over the stats here real quick first, unbuffed and buffed, and now please keep in mind that all of this is in non-CP. So this is a build that is optimized for battlegrounds and non-CP serial combat. You can run this as a CP build. So first, let's go over the stats. We've got an unbuffed max Magicka of 30k, max health of 24.2, and a max stam of 13.3. We have a 1700 Magicka recovery on the sword and board bar, and a 1900, almost 2k Magicka recovery on the staff bar. Our resistances look pretty good on the sword and board bar at 28k spell resist and 23k physical resist. Now this is running as an Altner. If you ran as a Breton, your recovery would be a little bit lower, but your spell resist would be about 4k higher, so keep that in mind. And then on the back bar, we've got 20k spell resist and 18.5k physical resist. So overall, not bad as far as unbuffed stats are concerned. The only thing that is a little concerning is the critical resist is a little low, but that has more to do with the fact that my gear isn't optimized, and I'll go over that here shortly. So let's go ahead and buff up. Now we're looking at the same max stats, same recovery, but the key here is our resistances. We go up to 36k spell resist, 32k physical resist on the sword and board, and we've got 28k spell resist on the staff bar, and almost 26.5k spell or physical resist. These are really going to keep you alive. Now, as far as the gear is concerned, this is the battleground setup gear. So we're running 2 pirate skeleton, we're running 5 fort brass, and we're running 5 gossamer. On the front bar is our fort brass with our sword and board, and on the back bar is a staff of willpower. Now this is a placeholder for a master resto staff. I'm still working on grinding out VDSA to get this master resto staff, but once you have it, it's going to be very nice. But to train myself to not rely on fort brass on this bar, because I won't have it, I'm running a willpower staff. Now this is for, like I said, this is for BGs. If we wanted to go open world large group, we're going to change this out, and we're going to run 2 Troll King, 5 fort brass, 5 gossamer. Same setup on the bars here. Now the big difference being that when you're in large group, the Troll King is going to give you more healing output. I prefer it over something like Earth Gore. I know Earth Gore is kind of the meta, However, Earth Gore is random. It has the ability to save, but it also has a long cooldown. I prefer running Troll King. Troll King is controlled, it's much easier and much more reliable to proc. And even against vampire characters like myself, you're still going to get 750 health regen out of it. Now, ideally, you want all impen on the gear. I'm running Arcane on the 2 of my rings. I'm running Healthy on the necklace. And I'm running 2 Magicka recovery glyphs and 1 flame resistance. The flame resistance is because I'm a vampire for regens plus mist. We're running defending on the sword, impen on the shield, and defending on the staff. When you're running around and you're healing on your staff bar, you still want to have as much resistance as possible. Usually people run something like infused on their staff to help with the Magicka sustain from using an absorb Magicka enchant. I don't find that necessary with this build. I'm also running weapon damage enchant on the sword and board bar. Like I said earlier, the crit resist is a little low, sitting at 1281. That has to do with the traits on my armor not being optimized. I have mostly impen, but I have some sturdy in there. I have some divines, and I have some reinforced. You can run this as 5 impen on the gear, impen on the shield, and then run 2 sturdy, or 2 well fitted to your liking to help with the stamina cost of what you're going to be doing. Alright, so let's go over the skills. The skills are a little bit different depending on what mode you're playing, if it's BGs or if it's going to be open world. So if we're running BGs, we're going to start off with, on the sword and board bar, we're going to be running Channeled Focus, Breath of Life, Elusive Mist, Extended Ritual, and Luminous Shards. For our ultimate, we're going to be running Remembrance. I like this setup because on our sword and board bar, we're going to get our 2 major buffs, which is going to be Channeled Focus and Extended Ritual. Extended Ritual being that skill that you can use to cleanse yourself with. We're also going to get Breath of Life for an emergency heal, and we're going to get Elusive Mist for getting around and breaking CCs, as well as tank ability. Lastly, we run Luminous Shards to passively increase the amount we can block through the Adric Spear passives, and gives the ability for us to give resources back to our team. Lastly, we're running Remembrance on this bar because we have the highest resist already. This is going to give us major protection while we're channeling it, and it's just an overall great heal. Now, the key to Remembrance in large group is you're going to want to use your Elusive Mist to get up towards the front of the group if you're not there already, which you should be, but if you're not, Elusive Mist up to the front of the group and Remembrance them as they go by. Do not be afraid to block cancel your Remembrance to keep up with your group. The goal of the Remembrance is to give major protection to your group, as well as some pretty good healing, to get them through a choke, to get them through an alt dump, just to protect them. Remembrance is not your ability to heal a group. Remembrance is your ability to protect them. On the back bar, we're going to be running Total Dark, Entropy, Repentance, Rapid Regeneration, Healing Springs. And our ultimate is going to be Reviving Barrier or Light's Champion. It's going to be your decision. So to go through this, Total Dark is going to give us an ability to do damage, and it's going to give us some survivability. The heal that comes out of Total Dark cannot be discounted. It's a mini Breath of Life, and it doesn't have a cooldown on it. It can continuously fire as long as they're using their damage build. We're going to run Entropy to proc our major sorcery. We're going to run Repentance for 2 things, so that we can tempo heal the group through a fight as bodies drop, as well as restore our own stamina. We're going to run Rapid Regen over Mutagen because Rapid Regen is more controllable. It lasts longer, and it gives more of an opportunity to proc the Gossamer set. Mutagen is a great morph, however, it's unpredictable, and it's a lot easier to lose track of the buff. Lastly, we're running Healing Springs because any good group healer needs Healing Springs. With the Master Resto staff, this is going to give stamina back to your allies, and you can stack it on top of each. One tactic that I like to use when running with a large group especially is I'm up with the tank at the front, and I'm laying a line of Healing Springs down as we're moving to give the team passive healing and to get us through chokes and to get us through area pressure damage. Lastly, we're running Reviving Barrier. Now this is going to serve two functions. The first is you can use your barrier at the front of your group to shield the first 6 people that are about. The nice part about running barrier is that you cast it and you can keep healing. Lastly, it's going to play off the passives in the support line and give you more passive. The other option for running Reviving Barrier is running Light's Champion. Running Light's Champion out of the Resto line, it's going to save a target, it's a cheap ultimate, and it gives some great offensive stats. The preference is yours. I prefer Reviving Barrier for the instant nature and it hitting multiple people versus Light's Champion's one person. And also I enjoy the passives out of the support line being able to give me some Magicka back. Now you have a few options with this setup. If you want to go more offensive, you can remove Remembrance and slot in Nova and then run Light's Champion on the back bar because you need a healing ultimate. The other thing you can do is if you're not a fan of Total Dark, you can run something like Combat Prayer in this slot. Combat Prayer is a fantastic ability to buff your allies as you're going into combat. Now, I don't typically run it because we have a healer in our group that usually runs Combat Prayer and hits the whole group with it. So that's one less thing that I have to do. But if she's not there to heal, I will run Combat Prayer in place of Total Dark. So this build is pretty straightforward to play. What you're going to do is you're going to be sitting at the front of your group. You're going to be with the point man. Your health, your resistances are going to, and your elusive mist are going to give you the ability to lead into a charge. You lead into a charge, and as the two groups meet and the ult dumps begin, you're going to Remembrance. That's going to give your guys the ability to get in and not die while trying to get in. You're going to be laying down shards, you're going to be laying down buffs, and you're going to be laying down heals. Your goal is to keep as many people up, buffed, and alive as you possibly can. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a few clips from some battlegrounds that I've played, and I hope you guys enjoy the build. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below, and I will gladly answer them. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a like, comment below with any questions or feedback you have, and don't forget to subscribe for more. You can visit me on my social media and my Twitch stream, which are both linked below in the description. I hope you have a great day.